Hey guys, I hope that you're having a beautiful day. In this video, I'm gonna simply go through the code base of my indie game that I'm currently working on. And today, the subject of the video is checkpoints. What you see on the screen. My goal is simply to explain how does it work. The code is not perfect. I know I can still improve it. I'm not that proud of it, but I'm not that ashamed. I'm in the middle. But I thought that would be interesting for some people that want to implement a similar system and to see how somebody in the industry would implement it. I'm gonna record it in one take, so I'm sorry in advance for the stuttering or my bad English sometimes. But yeah, I really want to progress. I really want to just release one video and I want to keep practicing, and it's gonna help me so much. I hope I'm gonna give you a lot of value. Feel free to tell me in the comments if there are things that I can improve or not, the good and the bad. And yeah, when you disagree with the decision I took in the code base or whatever, please let me know. And yeah, if you like, of course, what I'm doing, it's gonna help so much. Liking, subscribing, sharing the video. But you don't have to. It's simply a bonus, and it's gonna help a lot if you like. Only if you like. If you don't like it, it's fine. You have the right to. Okay, let's go. So, first, I'm gonna present to you the checkpoint in the world. So, this is a checkpoint. The idea is simply we have a blueprint, an actor that we place in the world where we want the player to respawn when he dies. If he reached it, of course. So you see, we have all of those checkpoints. Each checkpoint has an ID here, index, and that's what we display here, here, here. Yeah, really simple. And the good thing with it, I will show you really quick, without spoiling too much the game that we might release soon. Yeah, so 1, 2, you see, I can jump from one checkpoint to another. Yeah, so that's what it is, and let me maybe show you. Mm, yeah. Anyway, it's fine like that. Okay, and the idea here is first to show you the diagrams that I made. Where is it? Where is it? Here. Yeah. So as you can see, it's a really simple diagram. In the level, you place your BP checkpoints, the actor I just showed you. I have some code in C++ that I can show you as well. I have one part of the game mode that is in C++, and the rest is a blueprint in Blueprint, C and D game mode. And here that's what contains the array of checkpoints. Here we have an array, but an arrow, sorry, but the character is not really having a not really interacting with the checkpoints. Is more calling functions of the game mode. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. First thing first. Let's go to the game mode. What happens on post login? That's the entry point of the game mode when the level is started. Yeah. So really simple. Init checkpoints, and in this function, I get all of the actors of the class BP checkpoint. I don't like that much that node, but since I use it once when loading the game, loading sorry the level, it's not that bad. It's not that good, but it's not that bad. Then I have this function that I created, sort checkpoints, that I have here as a blueprint callable that sorts a list of checkpoints in ascending order based on their index. Yeah, because it doesn't really, you cannot really sort things depending of a like struct value, let's say, or a member value. So yeah, I made this really simple. Then here, just to be sure, I clear the checkpoints and I add them. So yeah, I had to do the BP checkpoint here because that's where I had, I think, the bind, the event that is in the actor. I wanted to move that into C++, but yeah, at the end I was kind of lazy because it already works perfectly. But if you're interested in seeing the process of moving all of the code from Blueprint to C++, please let me know in the comments as well. Yep, so I go through all of them and I bind for each checkpoint, I bind to the event unreached. That is then, but you know what? I'm not gonna spoil you. We are gonna see later what it does. First, I wanted to show you the C++ part of the actor. Or you know what? Let's start with the blueprint. So that's how it looks. It's simply a checkpoint, a BP checkpoint. So it has collision mesh. It has, I think, a Niagara component that we are not using anymore that I might need to remove. We have the sign, we have a text render here that display the index. How does it work? I think my friend did it, and it's simply in the construction script, or I did it, I don't remember. We take the index +1 and we set it as a text. The halo is, my friend made it, I love it. Basically, yeah, it's red, and when we reach it, it becomes green. And you should have the box, I think this, yeah. No, yeah, that box is invisible, but if I set it to visible really quick, that's basically when you overlap in that place, when you overlap in the collision box, it basically yeah, you're gonna see it's in uncomponent begin. Here I don't like it that much. Instead of doing a cast, I know casts are not that good. I'm doing a cast here because I want to be sure that it's only when my player is gonna, only when the main character reaches a checkpoint that it actually does that. I could use an interface, but here, since the BP main character rework, that's the main character, is always loaded into the game. Anyway, yeah, we don't have a map where we don't spawn it, so it's kind of fine to do that. It doesn't change that much the memory layout and everything. And what I check is if the checkpoint is not already reached, because of course if it's already reached, we don't care. Then I set the player reached checkpoint. That's a function, interesting function. We set it to false at begin play, so to kind of force to be sure that everything is set properly. And when we overlap, we go here. What we do, so only if it's the player that reaches it, because I think we had some bugs or context where I think I was calling that function, but it was not the player that reached it. It was like some script or something. Anyway, I will check later. And we set this function for some VFX material. We set the material, that's for the color, it becomes green. We change if it's reached by player, because of course, yeah, we get it from here. And if it's player, if it got reached by player, plus if we play the sound, then I just noticed that it's not required anymore, because I had the play sound here that I moved in C++, so I can just do this. And we broadcast the player reached, and we handled the reputation. Yeah, and this was, yeah, I just noticed that, even though, yeah, no, it's fine. We want to do it only if it's reached by player. Okay, good. What else? What else? This is not really interesting. This is not really interesting. That's it. Let me show you the C++. So the C++, we have this delegate that is multicast, that is dynamic, so that, yeah, it can be used in Blueprint and C++. And yeah, I think what's interesting there, yeah, we pass the index, we pass the reference of the checkpoint. In begin play, what do I do? Nothing. In here, I set up the visibility of the collision to false. Yeah, I set that as the root. And I mean, no, it just initialize. I'm not even setting the root. It's done automatically. Okay, and then that function is not used. I think. Let me see. Unreached by player. Get, yeah. You see. Yeah. No, yeah. I was starting to move things from Blueprint to C++, but it's not even used. Good. I have also the checkpoint settings. I think I'm not even using. Let me see. Yeah, rich sound. That I think I'm using it now. Rich sound volume. Yeah, but I just noticed I'm gonna have to set it back because yeah, that code is not even used anymore. I started to move things from Blueprint to C++, but yeah, I haven't finished yet. So I think that I introduced a bug. Let me just quickly, let's add it together. I'm using diversion. So I can diff, I can do this. And what I removed was the play sound. And let's go back here as rich. Where is the, let me Control Z. And player reached, but it's something different. So what I should do, I should do this. Yeah, because I just noticed that we might have some cases where we actually want to, I was about to do this, but if we do this, it means that if we don't want to play the sound, we don't do that, but we might have some cases where we want to do that. So let's do this, this, and this. Okay. It's not that good, I'm not that proud, but I can improve it in the future. Okay, next. So I've shown you the init. I was showing you the BP checkpoint and the parent class that's in C++. I guess it's fine. Now what I can show you is when the player reaches the checkpoint in GMCND. So it's in on checkpoint reached by player, on checkpoint reached by player. Here, what happens? We get the index that we don't use and the checkpoint reference. What I do is, so first I get the last checkpoint reached. So let's say we reached that one. No, not that one. Bad example. We already reached the first one, and we go to the second one. We get a reference of the first one, index one, index 0, but yeah, +1 is displayed in the game. Sorry if it doesn't make sense. So I set it to false. Yeah, I set it to false here, so we reset it back to red because yeah, in the game we thought that it might be okay if, for example, the player goes backward in the game and reaches a older checkpoint, then he's gonna be punished and he's gonna have to, that's the checkpoint that is gonna be recognized as the last one. So yeah, if you play the game one day, guys, you know, don't take a older checkpoint, it's gonna be a punishment. So yeah, I cast to BP checkpoint to be able to, yeah, because here we have an array of BP checkpoints to find, because here we get it from the parent class, a reference of the C++ class. We find and we get the index only if it's valid. Then we set the checkpoint index reached, and using this in that function that is check if reach and level. So it's basically checking if it's the last index, if the checkpoint is the one with the last index, and if it's the case, we open the end level menu. So basically we see the end menu UI. If I go there, it's simply a function from my player controller, then I have a reference of the HUD. From there I go here, and then set game ended, so that's from my game state. I push using the common UI layer system my recap end, and that's how it works. That's how it works. This is kind of saving stuff that I made custom. I'm not that proud, it's a little bit weird. Let's move on to, because today it's just about the checkpoints. So that's the thing. Then when dying I need to go in the PC. I think I was in the right place. Yeah, here in on death anim finished. So on death anim finished here. What happens when you die in the game? I can show you really quick. Okay, let me go to that checkpoint. I cheated, and if I press the kill key, you see you have a little animation, and then you respawn here on the checkpoint. If I go to checkpoint 2 and I die, I'm there now. Okay, sounds good. You saw we have a little animation, a death animation that says KO. Um, so what happens is basically the player get killed, get killed. Then we have the animation, and when the death animation finishes, I'm binding somewhere here. So yeah, we have the death indicator widget. When we reach it, where is this done? In the begin play, yeah. Where is this done? Yeah, we go back here. Sorry, yeah, my brain was lagging. So on death anim finished, I check if we can get the player character. That would be really sad if we cannot, but yeah, we do. Then we destroy the actor. We cast to the parent. Where are we? No, we get the game mode. We get the parent class of the game mode, and we simply call try restart player. That's what matters here. In this function, we end the tutorial just in case, because yeah, that's I think an interface. Yeah, we have a tutorial system, and sometimes we had the tutorial staying in the UI even though we just died. So I end the tutorial here using I think you can find that in the player controller, but whatever, let's continue. And I check. So when we died, I check, was this the first checkpoint? No, did we reach the first checkpoint? If yes, then we restart the player at the last checkpoint. Otherwise, we restart the player we using the game mode base function that respawn the character at the player start. Simple, right? We go here. How do I get the transform? I'm using the restart player at transform. And how do I get the transform? Simply by doing this. I get the last checkpoint reach. What is that? It's simply a function that I have in the game mode CND, the game mode that I use in all of the maps where we play, because we have another one for the level, for the menu, for another one for mini game, whatever. So here checkpoints, we check if the current index is valid, and if it, yeah, and if it is, we get the reference. So get last checkpoint reach is like get current checkpoint. Well, I think you got the idea. And we get the actor transform. This we add plus 100. That's bad. It's a magical value. It would be better to have it in the settings here, or at least as a variable here. But yeah, we are just two. It's not that hard to find it. Yeah, don't be too hard, please, guys. But yeah, I'm already hard on myself. Don't worry. I know it's really bad. That is not that good. Then what else? So that's, yeah, that's how we do, and that's how we handle the respawning. And when dying, I've done it. And yeah, the kind of bonus part is that in our character we have a function here. Yeah, two functions only in normal gameplay maps. Yeah. So the numpad, when you do minus or plus, it's a debug function. We can go to the previous checkpoint or the next checkpoint, and it's really, really useful. That's what I was showing you before. You see, really, really practical when you want to quickly go through the level, and you want to go to a point. Yeah, really practical. Yeah, that's basically it. It was not that long. I expected it to be longer, but I went through all of the points I wanted to talk about today. So please, if you liked the video, feel free to let me know in the comments if you liked it, what part you didn't like, what do I need to improve. And yeah, on my side, it was a pleasure. My first video on the channel. I'm really excited to do more videos like that. And please take care of yourself, take care of your family, spend time with them, love them. And thank you so much for spending the time watching this video. It means a lot. Take care, guys. See you. Bye bye.